it's Michelle here, and welcome to the Blog channel where we talk about education, life, and love. And we talk about all those things through different kinds of videos. And in this video in particular, I'm going to be talking about some of the most frequent questions asked in community college. I'm very excited about this video because it's going to help you, get started with your back to school. And some of these questions cover, friendship questions, some questions about like the school in general. Some of these I would have wanted to know, before starting school. And yeah, so some of you guys who have been following me now know I have been traveling for about a month and a half in Europe, and I really enjoy traveling. It just gives me a break from my everyday routine, and it gives me an opportunity to reinvent myself. I think we all need one of those, and so I feel reinvented. I recommend you to go feel reinvented, even if that means to go out for a walk at a park or go hang out with your friends. I recommend you doing that before starting school. Go reinvent yourself, people. Nonetheless, I encourage you guys and welcome you guys to subscribe to this family. Subscribing to a small YouTuber, you have no idea how much that really does for us small YouTubers. It just helps us keep going. In general, like personally, I do not do any ads. I receive no money for any of this. It's just out of pure love that I want to help other people. So let's get started with the video now. You guys already know that I don't remember things from like off the bat, so I have my little journal here to tell me what the most frequent questions are. So the first one, and these are no order whatsoever, is, are professors mean? I always get asked this question, and this question in particular is kind of funny to me because I remember my first day at community college. I was so nervous. I remember one of the professors was actually really rude, actually really mean, and he was trying to scare us. And I think that's the thing, is that this is what I've noticed, is that professors will act really like scary so that they can get rid of, like the faulty ones, the faulty students. And then they end up just becoming really, really nice professors, and sometimes they even become your favorites. That actually, the one that I was scared of the most ended up becoming my favorite professor, who wrote a lot of like my recommendation letters to some scholarships. He ended up being my favorite. Actually, the two ones that are considered like the meanest on campus are my favorite, and not so much because they were mean or anything. They're just really strict, and they actually do care about education. They want to make sure you do too. No one there will actually like be rude to you, and if you genuinely feel like a professor is ever rude to you, you can go and talk to their boss, and that should be no problem to locate. Just go to the your counselor and talk to them about it. But no, for the most part, they just want you to be serious about the lecture, as well as they're putting also time into this. So yeah, that's basically my answer. The next question is it hard to make friends? I feel like friends are it's a really big thing for us in our social life because they keep us going. They can relate with what's happening in our current life better than maybe like our families, because our families aren't living it while we are kind of like with our friends. And they'll try their best to give you the best information, but our friends are always the ones to just get it right. And I think friends in community college, or in college in general, is obviously hard to make because everyone has different schedules. But I do remember joining clubs, and I also, which is something I'm going to do when I transfer, is I'm going to join clubs. I'm going to talk to people, and I recommend you talking to people and also asking them when their breaks are, or like what their schedule looks like. Once you guys can kind of vibe each other, you guys will end up exchanging information. I always ask people for their Instagram and their Snapchat. I don't know if that's something that you guys like to do. And then that we kind of keep in touch, and we end up like hanging out later whenever they're free. That's kind of how I made my friends in community college. And also, we always talk about our assignments. So it's not hard, but you do have to make, obviously, the effort to make a friend. Now the next question is, how do you make friends in community college? And just like that, just approach them, ask them what they're gonna do, what their weekend looks like, follow them on all social media accounts. And if you don't have a social media account, I'd encourage you to at least get maybe some type of like phone number so you guys can keep in touch about homework, and then maybe you guys can hang out later on. The other question I get asked is, how many units are considered to be normal? I'm gonna say a full-time student is considered to be 12 units. Normally, classes will typically be 3 units. The harder classes will be 4. So if you have, you know, for me, I think I did sometimes 3 4-unit classes, or I would take 1 4-unit class and then I'd take 3 3-units, and that's obviously a little bit more, but that just worked out with my schedule and that seemed to work for me. If you add any more from 12 units, you're still full-time, you're just taking a little bit more. A part-time would obviously taking less than 12 units. And yeah, it might differ between schools, but from what I know, that seems to be normal. Next question I get asked is, what is the difference between a quarter and a semester, and is one better than the other? So the first thing I'm going to tackle is, what is the quarter system? The quarter system is basically 4 terms. So you have your fall, winter, summer, and then your spring. I said that in the wrong order, I believe. It's like something like that. So your fall, winter, spring, and summer. So that is the 4 terms in a quarter. You can usually complete a lot more classes in a quarter system. It goes by a lot faster. Each quarter lasts 11 to 12 weeks, and that is the quarter system. Versus the semester system, it only has 3. So you only have your fall, your summer, and your spring, and that's kind of how it goes. But those each are a lot longer, so 15 to 16 weeks. So it depends on you now which one would be better for you. If you want to know how that the units transfer, so 1 semester credit is worth 1.5 quarter credit, and that's the difference. One is, if you want to say like one is longer than the other, then semester is a little bit longer and quarter is a little bit shorter. Which one's better? Really not, there's no difference. Maybe for you it could be, oh, the transfer school that I'm going to is quarter, so I want to stay with the quarter community college. That's totally cool too, they have those. The next question I get asked is if community college is hard. Well, college, any kind of education, can be challenging. It's meant to be there to challenge us, to make us grow. But if you look at your kindergarten worksheets, they're all really easy. So once you get past that stage, you're gonna look back and you're like, why was I complaining? It wasn't even that hard. So right now, what may seem hard may come to you very easy later on. What maybe could be challenging about community college is the system. It's very different for everyone, right? So what my situation could be academically could be different for you. So really explaining to you like, oh, this is exactly what you need to do might not be true. It can get confusing with, you know, courses and then transferring them, making sure that that's all settled. If you go watch one of my videos, I tell you if you're ready to transfer. That's a great video to talk about how to look at a college website and see if your credits are transferred. So with a little bit of help and guidance, you know, CC is doable. And you can succeed, okay? This channel's meant for you to succeed. Another question I get is what clubs you should join. So your clubs, I could also make an entire video about this, let me know. The clubs that you should join are the ones that either are fit for your major or ones that you think you will gain something about. So my Alpha Gamma Sigma was my honors club, and I had nothing to do basically with my major, but I found something. I was a part of the membership committee, and we were supposed to recruit new members, and then I did volunteer, which was fun for me too, because we were able to create flyers and stuff. Not flyers, but like events, create events for our group. That was fun for me, and I was able to meet people. So some things are just meant for more of like your social pleasure, and the other one for political science, that was also kind of more social because I wanted to be more involved. But you can also do clubs that will get you to network with people in your major, like business club. I didn't do a business club, and really I didn't feel like I was missing out because in my other clubs I was doing some sort of like business position. I was president of poli-sci, and I felt like I was able to run a business there because we did a lot of events there too. So yeah, maybe I'll pursue a business club, my next thing. So whatever catches your eye, whatever you feel like is worth investing your time in, I would say. You know, it's not really where you are, sometimes it's who you are with. So find yourself a good group of people and you can do anything. Another question is, how do I get A's? Get A's, basically stay consistent with your school, prioritize school, make sure you are updated with your professor. You want to know your professor's name and their office hours so that if you have any questions, you can ask them. And you want to ask a lot of questions all the time. Be that annoying student, because even if they graded something wrong, that can really affect your grade. So definitely communicate with your professor, connect with people, network with people. That's how you're going to get A's, and study hard. And if you want a video on how to study, let me know. I can teach you that. That is it for this video. I know it might be short, it might be long, I really don't know. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys want a part 2 with more questions that you want to ask down below, please let me know and I will make that video for you. I feel like this is a great way to bring it all back in, guys, now that I'm back from doing me. And I'm very excited to start this other journey. So again, make sure you give this a thumbs up, and you comment down below, and you subscribe and follow me on my Instagram and on my Snapchat. And nonetheless, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!